CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
A little bit frosty this morning in the tri-state area. Temperature is now at 38 degrees, expecting a high of 40. Winds not much of a factor for the Jets and the Chiefs today. Rex Ryan trying to go to the postseason for the third consecutive year. Jets have never gone to the playoffs in 3 straight years. And Todd Haley's got a history with the Jets organization. Spent 6 years, first in the scouting department, then as a wide receiver coach when he started his career in the NFL. Jets have won the toss. They've elected to receive to open things up, and Ryan Succop will get things started. Antonio Cromartie is back there because of the injury to Joe McKnight. We're underway from the Meadowlands. Cromartie's going to take it out of the end zone. Long strides by Cromartie, and he is stood up at the 23-yard line by Andy Studebaker on special teams. Jets offense on the field first, and Mark Sanchez now 11 fourth-quarter comebacks in his young career.
And no sacks. There are no sacks or penalties or interceptions last week against the Redskins. He's well aware of how good Kansas City's corners Brandon Carr and Flowers are. The two have combined for 7 interceptions on the season. They're very physical and aggressive, and that is important for the Jets to back them off in order for the Jets' timing routes to be effective, according to Sanchez. This is not a good start as Jets go to the huddle with just 10 men.
John Connor was late to come on. The play clock is down to 5. Just have to work quickly here.
And now call timeout. What a horrible start. To go out on the field with just 10 guys in the huddle, no fullback? Man.
Well, that's ominous. The Jets' opening drive touchdown last week ended a 9-game scoreless streak on opening drives. They win the toss. Rex Ryan elects to receive, and that's not something he does all the time. Often will send his defense on the field and defer. And the early turbulence for New York this season. Opponents have scored first 10 times. That's the most in the NFL. The 74 points given up in the first quarter, third most in the NFL. And it's not as if the Jets have done a lot of damage offensively in the first quarter.
But they did get a opening drive touchdown last week against the Skins.
Have you ever seen this? 6 seconds in, a timeout to start the game?
Nope.
6 offensive linemen. Vladimir Dukas is in. Running play to Sean Green up the middle. Breaks a tackle, and Green off and running now to the 45-yard line. Stays on his feet. That's not a bad way to make up for the opening timeout.
Hey, you wonder if they changed the play on the sidelines after that timeout, because that play, this one right here, works perfectly. It's a power play. Connor gets a good block right there on Derek Johnson. Goes all the way for 31 yards and all the way into Chief territory on the first play from scrimmage.
And the longest run of the season for Sean Green. We saw a lot of the Wildcat last week, 7 plays of it, and it was Green who was taking the direct snaps. He told us it's really nothing he's ever experienced in his football career. Forget about the professional level. College, high school as well. Green right up the middle and able to slice his way for 3.5 yards. Starting offense, Brandon Moore is not 100%, but he's in there for his 118th straight start. He's been dealing with soreness in his hip. Backs and receivers, Green getting better as the season progresses here, and the numbers are getting better for the Jets' rushing attack as well. Jeremy Curley is in, and we will see the Wildcat early. Curley, a high school quarterback, the rookie out of TCU. Sanchez is set up as a receiver. And a running play. Pretty straightforward there for Sean Green. Picks up 2 yards. Defensively for Kansas City, Tyson Jackson had a sack last week, just the second of his career in his 3rd year from LSU. Linebackers, Justin Houston, 3 sacks last week in his first year from Georgia. And in the secondary, good corners, but Brandon Flowers is 5'9", and we'll see some time against the 6'5" Plexico Burris today. 3rd and 4, dime package for Kansas City. 6 defensive backs. Tomlinson is in. Sanchez to throw. In stride. Sanchez hooking up with Patrick Turner. First down, 11 yards on the pass play, brought down by Flowers.
7th catch of the season for Patrick Turner. He's a big target over the middle at 6'5", 220. He gets inside of Daniels immediately from the right side here of the formation, just pulling away from the defensive back, and Sanchez puts the ball right where the receiver can make the catch and continue with his momentum down the field.
Double tight end set with Keller and Mulligan and Dukas in there, so a jumbo formation for the Jets and a new set of downs to work with. Handoff to Green, trying to get to the outside, and Green falls forward at the 29 for a gain of 1.5 yards. Justin Houston over there making the play for Kansas City.
And it's a good sign for Kansas City that Jovan Belcher is in the starting lineup. Todd Haley told us yesterday it was 50-50 whether he would be able to play. He's got a shoulder problem, and if he does not play, that changes the way Derek Johnson, he has to go over to his position and make the calls. And then that brings DeMario Williams in the game, and he's got a bad groin.
2nd and 8 now for the Jets. Deep drop for Sanchez. He fires over the middle. Curl by Keller. Dustin Keller spinning his way for a first down. Keller has come out and said that he's really benefited from the teachings of Tom Moore, the offensive consultant, and all the experience. They've connected more with the wide receivers and with Keller, and he's using a lot of his tips.
And Keller right here. Good stop right here. Now he turns into a whirling dervish, spinning off of 3 tacklers to pick up the first down for the Jets. Sanchez getting good time to throw on that deep drop. Found his tight end wide open.
7th play of the drive. They are in the red zone. They've been the best red zone team in the NFL, scoring touchdowns. Play fake. Nice little dump off as Keller gets involved again. And the play whistled dead as he takes it to the 10-yard line, so a 7-yard gain for the Jets. Again, looking sharp on their opening drive just like a week ago.
Yeah, red-hot quarterback Sanchez, 3 for 3 for 28 yards. And, of course, they got that big run on the first play of the drive from Sean Green. So it's all working well for Brian Schottenheimer, offensive coordinator, and Mark Sanchez.
Sanchez had thrown an interception in 5 straight games until last week. 2nd and 3 now for the Jets, and Sanchez is going to shift to the outside. This time it's Tomlinson. Good cut by Tomlinson as he takes it to the 5-yard line. LaDainian Tomlinson gives the Jets a 1st and goal.
The Jets have a lot of options when they go to the Wildcat. We've seen Curley already. That was LT that time. Here's Tom Moore up in the box. And, of course, Sean Green last week did it for the first time in his career, and it paid off in a couple of scores.
And Moore now living full-time here in New Jersey. He was in South Carolina, and he's going to spend the rest of December and potentially the playoffs with the team. 1st and goal for the Jets, trying to get on the board first. 4 receivers set. Sanchez, plenty of time. Back of the end zone, broken up, looking for Keller, and back there, Brandon Flowers to make the play.
Chiefs went to a zone defense here. You can see Flowers just playing an area of the field, watching the quarterback there, and Sanchez real lucky that Flowers didn't get 2 hands on that ball, or that would have been picked.
Brian Schottenheimer was actually an assistant in Kansas City in 1998 under his dad, Marty Schottenheimer. Played his high school football in that area as well before going to Kansas, eventually transferring to Florida. 2nd and goal. Give is to Green. Green trying to power his way in, picks up 3. It'll be 3rd and goal for the Jets as Lewis combines with Belcher to bring down Green.
That was an outstanding tackle by Kendrick Lewis. He gives up about 30 pounds to Sean Green, but he did not allow Green to fall forward after the big hit.
11th play of the drive coming up last week. 17 plays, 74 yards. It culminated in a Green touchdown. 3rd and goal, 3 receivers set. Just underway, the Jets and the Chiefs. Out of the gun, Sanchez out of the pocket. Sanchez trying to keep the play alive. Very deep drop by Sanchez and throws. Nobody home. And a flag down in the end zone.
Yeah, you might suspect this is going to be holding or illegal contact against the Chiefs.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 21, half position to the goal, automatic first down.
Our referee, Terry McCauley. The call against Javier Arenas, talented young corner from Alabama.
Hey, you can see Brandon Carr holding Curley right there.
First and goal. Bootleg Sanchez, untouched. Touchdown Jets. Beautiful piece of deception. And the Jets out in front on Kansas City.
That's his 4th rushing touchdown of the season, his 10th of his career, and he will never get an easier one this time. You can see how he just pulled into Mario Williams with the fake. Studebaker late getting over there, but that's because you've got the big power running back in there. And Sean Green behind John Connor. Easy score for Sanchez.
11 plays, 77 yards. Sanchez having a chat with his quarterback's coach, Matt Cavanaugh, and they've got the lead on KC.
We go back to the critical holding penalty on Javier Arenas in the end zone, working against Santonio Holmes here. And you can see he just grabs him and holds on to him forever as Sanchez trying to buy time, trying to get away from Justin Houston and the flag. And that all happened on a 3rd down.
So Jets would have settled for the field goal. Instead, they got a chance to punch it in. Folk kicking off to Arenas. And Arenas down the sideline as he spins his way just short of the 35. Nick Bellore making the play on special teams. Tyler Palko and the Chiefs offense on the field when we return.
Sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Verizon, your holiday smartphone destination.
Seven 0 Jets in front. Long drive by the Jets, including that brilliant timeout to start things off. Kansas City with the football at the 33. Knocked down. Calvin Pace got penetration as Palko had that one knocked back in his face.
Pace goes about 6'4". There he is right on the line of scrimmage as a pass rusher here. And boy, if he didn't tap that ball back so far, he might have been able to score with it.
Kyle Wilson in as a nickel back. 2nd and 10. Palko throwing underneath. Big shot. Bo is able to absorb it. And a 5-yard pickup. Tyler Palko, last week his first NFL win in the victory over Chicago.
Head coach Todd Haley told us yesterday he wants Palko to use more of his athletic ability today against the Jets. Good against the pass rush, getting out with sprint outs and bootlegs, using his running ability.
And a 3rd and 5 for Kansas City. Opening drive for the Chiefs. Pump fake and a throw. Tried to thread the needle and almost intercepted. Steve Breston, the intended receiver. Jim Leonard back there for New York. 3 and out for the Chiefs.
Yeah, Leonard was able to get a hand on this again. 3 passes to start this game for Kansas City, and the Jets get their hands on 2 of them.
Jets had the ball for over 6 minutes on offense. Kansas City for 45 seconds. Jim Leonard back there. Dustin Colquitt to punt it, averaging 45 yards per kick. Leonard moves forward. It was a shallow kick, and it does take a Kansas City roll. Finally touched at the 5. That's where the Jets will have it. 57-yard punt. Mark Sanchez trying to lead the Jets to their 3rd straight win. Off to a good start. Jets in front 7-0 on Kansas City. These two franchises have some history. Take you back. 1969 AFL divisional playoff game in New York. You had Hank Stram, you had Weeb Eubank, and the defending Super Bowl champion Jets. KC's defense held Joe Namath in check, completed only 14 passes. Len Dawson to Gloucester Richardson, touchdown in the fourth quarter. Chiefs lead 13-6. Jim Marsalis clinched the game, interception to end the Jets season. KC would go on to defeat Minnesota and win Super Bowl IV. 10 Hall of Famers in that game, Dan, including the two head coaches.
And that game, that win for Kansas City, took them to the Super Bowl where they dominated the Vikings.
Sean Green with a 3.5-yard gain, just brought down at the 9, Flowers and Johnson. How about that last drive for New York?
Well, 31 yards on the first play of the game after the timeout for Sean Green. Then Sanchez hits Turner for 10 yards. The holding penalty was really critical. This was on third down, and Sanchez threw the ball away. The 1-yard touchdown on the beautifully executed bootleg, but the penalty on Javier Arenas really killed the Chiefs.
LaDainian Tomlinson is in on a 2nd and 6 for New York. Fake the handoff, moving pocket. Sanchez. Incomplete. Brandon Flowers ranging over to make the play. Got his hands on it.
Now that's dangerous when Flowers gets his hands on it, because he has the ability to take it in the end zone, and he would have done exactly that. This is twice now in the first quarter that Sanchez has been a little bit too risky with his passes. He took a lot off that pass to LaDainian Tomlinson on the sidelines, almost picked off. 16
turnovers for Sanchez this season. Opponents have scored 66 points off of those turnovers. That's the most in the NFL. Big play here, field position wise for New York. If they can convert at 3rd and 6, if Kansas City can stop them, which they will. Running into a wall. Tomlinson gets hit by the former Jet, John McGraw, and it's 4th down.
McGraw did a great job of reading that power play and just meeting Tomlinson right basically at the right line of scrimmage. Very conservative call there from Schottenheimer with the Jets backed up.
Kansas City did limit Chicago to just 181 yards of offense. Chiefs come in 2 games behind Denver and Oakland in the AFC West. TJ Conley the punt. Arenas the return man, and look at the field position for Kansas City. He's brought down just short of the 40-yard line of New York, a 41-yard punt. Marquise Cole the tackle. Palco gets another crack at this Jets D.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. And by the 2012 Jeep Wrangler Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 edition.
Kansas City Chiefs trailing the Jets 7-0 on a handoff for Thomas Jones, and he is tripped up from behind. Boua in there for New York. Starting offense for Kansas City, Barry Richardson has struggled on that right side, but he maintains the starting job at right tackle. Backs and receivers for Jones, you know there's emotion involved. He was a big part of the Jets team for 3 years, including Rex Ryan's first year as the head coach. Let go because of financial decisions. 2-yard gain there for Jones. Marcus Dixon getting the start for the injured Mike DeVito today on the D-line. Linebackers, Jamal Westerman is in. He's been rotating with Garrett McIntyre. And in the secondary, Antonio Cromartie, additional duties as the kick returner today because of the injury to McKnight. 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Palco, plenty of time, throws. Handled by Jeremy Urban. Urban, though, cannot get it to the first down line. They're in no man's land right now as David Harris comes up with the stick.
Yeah, field goal from here would be about 53 yards for Ryan Suckup. In pregame warmups in this direction, he hit a 52-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. And this is just about a yard farther than that.
He converted on a 54-yarder earlier this season, which was his career high. 16 straight made field goals for Suckup. 53-yard attempt for Kansas City. Colquitt will hold it. From 53 yards away, he's got it. Ryan Suckup gets Kansas City on the board at 7-3 Jets. Ryan Suckup showing off his range. Good leg power from the third-year kicker from South Carolina.
You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Kansas City will kick it off after the Suckup field goal of 53 yards, 7-3. Jets leading it, 4:36 to go in this first quarter. Kansas City this season on the road, 3-3, just 2-4 at home. On a bounce taken by Mulligan for the Jets. And a pretty good angle by Mulligan getting to the outside. Penalty marker thrown at the 33-yard line.
And they're going to get the Jets for an illegal block on that return by Mulligan.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 54. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And it's Nick Bellore who's called on the hold. Tomorrow on CBS, there is no better way to celebrate the holidays than with a wedding, Hawaiian style. Don't miss a festive new Hawaii Five-0. That's tomorrow only CBS.
Looks warm there, doesn't it?
Doesn't feel warm here.
No, it doesn't.
First down for the Jets. Back it up to the 23-yard line. Tomlinson in the backfield with Josh Baker. Kansas City crowd the line. No rush, though. Sanchez, a bullet. He hits Baker over the middle. First down to the 40-yard line. That covers 17 yards. NFL Today update. Let's head to New York. And JB.
Patriots get it done defensively. All right, and Andre Carter comes around the corner. He hits Rex Grossman in the back. The ball's on the ground. Vince Wilfork picks it up for a touchdown. 7-3 New England. Andre Carter, ex-Redskin, with his 10th sack of the year. Back to Ian Eagle and Dan Fouts.
All right, thanks very much, JB. Dan Marino. We'll be hearing from them throughout the day with updates around the league. December in the NFL. Sanchez play fake on first down. Sanchez, deep ball. Holmes broke free. But as he kept going downfield, Sanchez threw it to a spot. Holmes in a matchup with Brandon Flowers.
Yeah, let's go back to that pass before this to Josh Baker where Sanchez really squeezes it in between the two linebackers, Belcher and Johnson here. That's a fine ball, but this last one of those miscommunications between the receiver and the quarterback. But Holmes did get behind Flowers, and that would have been a touchdown for the Jets.
Second and 10 for New York. 3:44 left in the first quarter. Deep drop, Sanchez. Underneath, connects with Dustin Keller for 5. And hit immediately by Derek Johnson, who's having a big year in terms of tackles. 136 tackles coming into this game. He's on pace to finish with 181, which would be a Chiefs franchise record.
And he's an impact player. He just doesn't make tackles. He forces fumbles and intercepts passes. And he's really coming into his own now in his 7th year.
This is a Kansas City team that didn't win in September or November. They went 4-0 in October, trying to go to 2-0 in December. Sanchez, third down. It's a strike to Keller. Into Kansas City territory, brought down to the 44, 11 yards on the pass play, working against the nickelback Javier Arenas.
Well, the Chiefs are going to have to find some way to get this guy after the quarterback here. You can see the Jets with great job there by Brandon Moore, who's battling a bad hip. Him and Wayne Hunter with a combination there, keeping Hali away from Sanchez.
Tamba Hali is dealing with a hand injury. He's from Teaneck, New Jersey, just 20 minutes from here. Went to Teaneck High School. His father, Henry, teaches chemistry there. So a lot of friends and family at the game for Hali. Running through an arm tackle, it's Tomlinson. Darts for a 3-yard gain. McGraw in on that stop for Kansas City.
You know, Hali has 8 sacks on the year, and he's always thinking going after the quarterback. This time, he'll come into the backfield looking for Sanchez and miss an arm tackle on LaDainian Tomlinson.
Hali had 14.5 sacks last season, went to the Pro Bowl for the first time in his career, and got rewarded with a big deal. 5 years, $60 million. Second and 7 now for New York, under 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. Double tight ends, Keller and Mulligan. And some trickery. Curley, end around, and able to lean forward for a gain of 2. Glenn Dorsey got him down low and sets up 3rd and 5
Dorsey and John McGraw. That's two good plays that McGraw has made along the line of scrimmage, and now he comes limping out. Another injury for the Chiefs in their secondary. Remember, they lost to Eric Berry early in the season. They cannot afford to lose McGraw. Donald Washington, another safety, was not activated today.
Berry down with an ACL. Sabby Piscatelli comes into the game, the former Buccaneer and Brown. 3rd and 5, 7th play of the drive. Sanchez is dumped. Back at the 47-yard line, it's Javier Arenas.
That was really a well-designed blitz by Romeo Crennel, defensive coordinator. Javier Arenas and Travis Daniels both come on the blitz here, and there's just nobody to pick up number 21. Tomlinson takes the inside man, which he's told to do, and Sanchez is a dead one.
TJ Conley punting, and Arenas standing at his own 11-yard line. They'll move out of the way, and special teams gets down the field as Cole looked like he was the punt returner on the play.
He did everything except signal for a fair catch.
He had enough time. 40-yard punt. Mike Westhoff in his 24th year as an NFL coach, and still bringing that passion on a daily basis, coaching up the special teams. Got a sports fan on your list? CBSSports.com shop has officially licensed NFL gear and 3-day shipping on every order at shop.cbssports.com. Kansas City with the football. 1st and 10 at its own 5-yard line. 31 seconds to play in this opening quarter. Jackie Battle in the backfield. He's got a running lane. Battle bursting through the hole, takes it just across the 15-yard line. Lilja and Wigman creating some space for the big running back, Jackie Battle, at 6'2", 238.
And he's got surprisingly good speed as he breaks the tackle there of Eric Smith and gets all the way to Jim Leonard. Smith playing with an injury, but tempo of the Chiefs a little bit quicker, getting in and out of the huddle.
11-yard gain. Steve Maneri is in, extra lineman. And Battle tries to keep the legs churning and picks up 2 yards in the process. End of the first quarter here in New Jersey. 7-3, Jets leading the Chiefs. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Quarterback Matt Cassel's season was cut short because of a hand injury placed on IR. That's Kyle Orton just behind him, who was claimed off of waivers when he was released by Denver. And Orton came in for 1 play and injured his index finger. Not active today on his right hand, dislocated it. So Tyler Palko continues to get the opportunity to run the Kansas City offense and also prove that he's an NFL quarterback. On a handoff, Jackie Battle gets smothered. Calvin Pace, Ropati Patoi Tua, and a loss of 1 on the play.
You go back to that one play that Mr. Lucky here, Kyle Orton, had last week against the Bears. It was a flea flicker, and the blitz came, and you can see his finger dislocated right there. He knew immediately he was in big trouble. That's just bad luck.
4 receivers set. 3rd and 10. 6 defensive backs for the Jets. Here comes the rush. Palko gets rid of it, and a low throw is handled by Battle, but can't do anything with it. Donald Strickland came firing in on the lefty Tyler Palko. 2-yard gain. It's 4th down.
And he may have hurt his right hand. Of course, he's a left-handed thrower, but the blitz here, Strickland comes in free, and as the ball is released, you can see Palko trying to protect his chest with his off hand and may have bruised it.
Kansas City punting deep in its own territory. Jim Leonard is waiting for it at the 33. Here's the punt from Colquitt. Leonard moves forward. Catches cleanly at the 34. Was slowed down there, and that allowed the Chiefs to come downfield on special teams. Corey Greenwood making the play. Palko appears to be okay. Jets with a 7-3 lead. In their last 43 drives, and that touchdown was the Hail Mary last week against Chicago.
They ought to throw it more often.
The Hail Mary?
Yes.
Is call it on 1st down?
It worked.
7-3, Jets leading it They take over after the punt. Sean Green, who got things started with a long run to help set the Jets up on their opening drive, but nothing there for Green going to the perimeter. Vote today to send your favorite players to the 2012 Pro Bowl. Vote online or with your mobile device at NFL.com/Pro Bowl or text Pro Bowl to my NFL. Dan, those numbers are 69635.
Got it.
Just underway in the second quarter. 2nd and 11 for the Jets. Green back there with Connor. Mulligan goes in motion. 44 yards on the ground for Green. Play action. Sanchez underneath on a toss for Green, and Sean Green able to turn it upfield for a gain of 8. Belcher with a stop. Let's go to New York. JB and Dan.
Rob Gronkowski, now a record holder. Yes, he's making history. This pass from Tom Brady, 11 yards to Rob Gronkowski for a touchdown, the 14th of the season, making NFL history. Patriots getting it done. Ian and Dan.
And the New England Patriots, guys, trying to keep pace with Pittsburgh for the best record in the AFC. The Steelers getting that Thursday night win over the Cleveland Browns, but could be a costly one with Roethlisberger and Pouncey both going down with ankle injuries. Sanchez is drilled. Justin Houston picks up where he left off a week ago. He had 3 sacks in the win over Chicago, and Houston able to bust through against Sanchez, forcing 4th down.
Well, watch this move here by Houston on Wayne Hunter. Very similar to how he got Caleb Haney last week. 3 times he picked up sacks for the Chiefs, and this one may have shaken up Mark Sanchez. He came down on his right shoulder.
Yeah, he went to the sideline gingerly after that sack as Conley punched to Arenas. Able to get into the face of Arenas, so a fair catch called for at the 22, and they are checking out the right arm of Sanchez. Sanchez took a pop from Houston.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by New York Life Insurance Company. Garmin. Give a Garmin GPS this holiday season. And by the Philips Norelco Senso Touch 3D, a great shave, dry or wet with gel or foam.
Getting into the holiday mood in New York City this time of year. The Jets with a 7-3 lead. They were checking out Sanchez during that break. Kansas City takes over with Palko on an out route. Trying to hit Dwayne Bowe, and Darrelle Revis is over there. Former college teammates, Palko and Revis, so they know one another quite well.
Yeah, it was interesting talking to Brandon Carr about Revis and how patient and how much Brandon Carr and Brandon Flowers will study Revis when they're on the sidelines. As the Chiefs go with a no-huddle, up-tempo offense.
2nd and 10 for Kansas City. McCluster gets an opportunity, and McCluster is driven down quickly by Pace. Loss of 1 on the play. This Kansas City team ranked number 9 in the NFL in rushing, but they do it with Jones, McCluster, and Battle. There's no one go-to guy on this Chiefs roster after Jamal Charles went down with a torn ACL early in the season. Palko over the middle, picked off. Jim Leonard with the interception. And Leonard shaken up on the play.
He may have sprained his ankle after the catch. Steve Breston was right around his ankles making the tackle. But Palko just threw this ball into a real crowd.
Palko a force. And Leonard got grabbed from behind by Breston. They're checking out Leonard on the field. Safety Jim Leonard being helped off the field. He cannot put any weight on that right leg. He suffered a broken leg last year, which cost him the tail end of the season. It happened in practice. Obviously was not part of the playoff run either. Sanchez on a floater for Green, busting it to the outside. Sean Green with a cutback. Green diving for the pylon. Out of bounds. Kendrick Lewis forced him out along the sideline. 36 yards on the catch and run by Green.
Yeah, it's perfect call against the blitz from the left side of the screen. You can see the blitzing defensive back, but how about the effort here by Nick Mangold, number 74, all the way down the field, getting a block on Belcher there that gets Sean Green all the way to the 2-yard line. Great effort by Mangold and a perfect call by Schottenheimer against that blitz.
First and goal for the Jets, trying to add to their lead. Keller goes in motion. Handoff. Tomlinson can't get to the edge. Kansas City was ready for him, and the frustration and disappointment
looks like
for Jim Leonard.
Yeah, Glenn Dorsey is down for the Chiefs as Leonard heads to the locker room. It was the same right leg that he broke last year that he injured just moments ago.
Kansas City dealing with injuries. John McGraw, an injured left ankle, and now it's Dorsey down on the field for the Chiefs.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Walmart. Save money, live better. Walmart. And by GMC. Now during the GMC holiday event, trade up to the best Sierra ever and get some of the best offers of the year.
Amon Gordon has stepped in now for the injured Glenn Dorsey. Dorsey went down in a heap on that run by Tomlinson. Second and goal for New York. Tomlinson shifting out of the backfield. Sanchez, a bullet. Santonio Holmes, touchdown Jets.
Seventh touchdown of the season for Santonio Holmes. 3 in the last 3 games. Sanchez again has a lot of time to throw, looking left all the way. Watch Holmes work the back of the end zone and then get both feet down for the score.
All set up by the interception by Jim Leonard, but Leonard injured on the play, his right leg. 3 plays, 38 yards. Nick Folk on for the extra point. 14-3, Jets, 10:02 mark of the second quarter. Mark Sanchez, the chemistry building with Holmes. Jets with a 14-3 lead over Kansas City. Quarterback play so far here. Your assessment of what you've seen out of Mark Sanchez, Dan?
Well, Sanchez has been sharp, but that offensive line's done a good job of giving him time to throw, and it's really important that he continues to build on that relationship with Santonio Holmes. Holmes so good in the red zone, so good in the end zone. For Palco and the Chiefs, he's done a solid job. He just hadn't got a whole lot of yardage. And that interception to Leonard was just a real force job over the middle. And that cost the Chiefs the touchdown at Holmes.
And we are told it is a right knee injury to Jim Leonard. He will not return. Dexter McCluster, the return man here for Kansas City. McCluster with a zigzag across the 20-yard line. 19-yard return for McCluster as Turner helps make the play along with Tracy Wilson on special teams. So for Mark Sanchez and company, the 4-yard strike to Santonio Holmes. Those two hooked up in the fourth quarter last week for the go-ahead touchdown. And then the Jets put together 3 touchdowns in a matter of 3 minutes and 2 seconds. That's the fastest the Jets have ever scored 3 touchdowns in the quickest span since they started keeping those numbers back in 1980. Thomas Jones right up the middle. 3-yard gain. Muhammad Wilkerson, the rookie, in on the stop. NFL Today update, JB and Dan.
Up Washington striking back. Oh, look at this play here. Grossman hands it to Alou, who reverse pass here. Brandon Banks downtown to Santana Moss. 49 yards, 17-14 Washington. Ian and Dan.
Thomas Jones again getting the carry. 4 yards this time for Jones, and Wilkerson again in on the stop for New York.
Got been a reunion tour for Thomas Jones the last 2 weeks. Former team, the Bears, last week, and of course his great career, short time he had here with the Jets.
He gained 1,402 yards for the Jets in 2009 with 14 touchdowns. Palko on 3rd and 3. Palko is sacked. Bart Scott. It was part of that second wave of Jets defenders coming through. Palko is agile, but he could not break free. It's a loss of 7.
Here's Bart Scott right here. This is his 3rd-and-a-half sack of the season. Palko couldn't find anything to the right side, and then when he starts to take off, there's the strong right arm of Scott to bring him down.
Jim Leonard, not only a defensive leader, but the Jets' main punt returner the last couple of weeks. So Jeremy Curley getting his opportunity after the muff last week. Curley backpedals. Curley spilled out across the 30-yard line. Corey Greenwood makes the play on special teams, and another injured Jet. It's Marquise Cole, 61-yard punt. Looks like he's grabbing at that right ankle.
There's the block on Andy Studebaker by Marquise Cole, and one of his teammates rolls into him.
So Cole, in his 3rd year out of Northwestern, was on the practice squad with Tennessee and New Orleans, finally getting an opportunity in the NFL with the Jets, and he's made the most of it basically on special teams.
You know, we go back to that graphic we showed at the beginning of the game of the playoff hunt in the AFC, and you know, we're in the final quarter of the season, but really it's a one-game season for all these teams right now. So many, 16 teams were on that graphic that still have a shot at the playoffs in the AFC.
Cole able to get up and walk off on his own power. Rex Ryan came over to make sure that Marquise was okay. 14-3, Jets leading it. And they've got a 1st and 10 now just across the 30-yard line. John Connor sets up as a receiver. And it's Tomlinson in the backfield on 1st down. Stutter step. Tomlinson veering to the outside. 7-yard gain with Ferguson and Slauson working that left side of the offensive line. They work in secret to stop crime before it happens. Thursday, they'll finally come face to face with a detective who wants to stop them. New Person of Interest Thursday only. CBS. Jets are 5-1 at home. They finished the 1998 season and the 1985 season 7-1 at home, the best marks in franchise history. Last week, Jets were very quiet offensively through 3 quarters. Different story here today. Tomlinson leaves his feet and should be enough for a 1st down. 4-yard gain for LaDainian Tomlinson.
Glenn Dorsey back in the lineup for the Chiefs. That's a good sign, although he's coming out now as the Chiefs get some fresh bodies in there. They're trying to match personnel with the Jets. The Jets bring in Keller, take out Mulligan. This could be a pass for New York.
Rashard Langford is in there at safety for Kansas City. Told you about the McGraw injury earlier, left ankle. Timeout, play clock was winding down. Sanchez upset. Looked like Curley may have been in the wrong spot for New York. So 1 timeout remaining for the Jets at the 7:10 mark of this 2nd quarter. Coming up, Sprint Halftime Report, JB and Company, the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Now, Mark Sanchez talked about this practice week, and Wednesday really stood out. Thought the team had good tempo. They were sharp. A lot of studying on Monday and Tuesday getting ready for the Kansas City defense.
Well, they just know how important every game is now because of the logjam in the AFC. And he really enjoys having Tom Moore around, too, as far as changing things up and the respect he has earned from the players in the NFL for his great work in Indianapolis and Pittsburgh before that.
New set of downs for the Jets to work with. On the ground, Tomlinson gets pancaked by Johnson. Loss of 2 on the play for the Jets.
Well, watch Johnson right here, how quick he is to get to the hole and meet Tomlinson in the backfield. Defeats the block there of Mulligan and stops Tomlinson for a yard loss. Perfect tackle.
2nd and 12 for New York. 6:35 to play in the second quarter. Jeremy Curley, the motion man. They are yet to call the name Plexico Burress today. Sanchez releasing out of the backfield. Sean Green. First down for the Jets. Brought down to the 46-yard line of Kansas City. Derek Johnson chasing him. That's 14 yards on the hookup.
Yeah, good speed out of the backfield by Green as he's going to beat Derek Johnson to the spot here. And the pass is perfect. Green doesn't have to slow down at all. It can take that momentum right to the sideline and pick up a first down, beating Derek Johnson.
Yeah, we asked him, had the 3 touchdowns last week. Ever have a 3-touchdown game? He said, oh, yeah, 4 touchdowns. Back in college for Iowa, 218 yards his junior year over Wisconsin. He rattled off all the numbers.
Yes, he did.
He knew it all. Sanchez dials up the deep ball. Santonio Holmes. And he skied it over the head in that matchup with Brandon Carr. Holmes complaining that there was contact between the wide receiver and the defensive back.
Yeah, there certainly was. They're at about the 20-yard line. Watch Carr rather. A little bit of a hand fighting there, but I think that's a good call, or good non-call by the officials. The ball well overthrown by Sanchez, and both players were jostling for position.
Carr gave us a scouting report on Holmes, saying he's an excellent route runner and deceptively strong. Not a big body at 5'11", 192. 2nd and 10. Sean Green running into a crowd just across the 45. 2-yard pickup for Green. Tyson Jackson combining with Kelly Gregg to bring him down.
That was a big week last week for Sean Green against the Redskins. This is his first of 3 touchdowns. This one from the Wildcat position there. A 9-yarder in the fourth quarter, and then the 25-yarder gave the Jets the insurmountable lead. But he is healthy, and he's rolling.
3rd and 8 now for the Jets. Tomlinson back in there. Sanchez will operate out of the gun. Looking at Burress. He'll throw over the middle. And it's Tomlinson wide open. LaDainian Tomlinson with a flag thrown. He's brought down just short of the 12-yard line. Savvy Piscatelli reacting to the officials. 31-yard catch and run.
First down.
No penalty on Savvy Piscatelli, but somebody's going to have to figure out how to guard number 21 out of the backfield. Belcher lets him get inside. That's rather the rookie Justin Houston. There's the tackle, the legal tackle by Piscatelli. Good for another 31-yard gain. Sanchez hitting his back out of the backfield.
And Sanchez is 11 of 15, 154 yards and a touchdown. 1st and 10 for New York. Sanchez will change the play. 4:22 to go in this first half. Sean Green lost the football at the end of the play. Brandon Flowers on the recovery. Jets cough it up on the fumble by Sean Green. It looked like the Jets were going in for more points. Green is claiming he was already down.
It looked like Tamba Hali got in there. The fans reacting to the big board here showing the replay. And Rex Ryan may want to challenge this one. Sean Green has fumbled twice this year. That's the first one he's lost, if in fact he did lose it.
Yeah, I think he may be right. It looked like he was down already.
And there's a challenge flag thrown by Rex Ryan.
Collins if the runner was down by contact prior to losing control of the football.
It was at the tail end as he was trying to raise his arm back towards his body. And the question is just the timing of it. Is he ruled down just before the ball slipped loose?
And Terry McAuley's going to get some company here from Todd Haley as he chased him down the sidelines here. But his bottom is down right there. It looks like he still has possession of the ball. Slightly moving there as Langford and Hawley come in on the hit.
He almost slapped it out himself. Looks like he has the ball here, and then on the follow-through, lost the football. Now, we know what the rule states. There's got to be indisputable evidence to overturn it. So the call on the field is a fumble.
Yeah, I think he's down before that ball started to move in his arm.
This is a huge call for Kansas City because the Jets either have it a 2nd and 3 at the 6, or the Chiefs have it 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
I remember John Madden had that book out there that said 1 knee equals 2 feet. Well, in this case, 2 cheeks means you're down.
I don't believe it. Was that a chapter in the book?
The epilogue.
Yeah.
The very end of the book.
Very end. Really fine print. You had to find it.
I'm sorry. I don't think we have that indisputable proof to overturn this one.
Well, that's what Terry McAuley is looking at right now. Todd Haley knows how critical this is. Kansas City has not been able to muster any form of offense. They have 23 yards. The Jets have 212 in this first half. 13 first downs for the Jets, 1 for Kansas City.
Yeah, Palco's completed 3 out of 7 for just 11 yards. Jackie Battle had that one good run off his goal line, but other than that, nothing on the ground for the Chiefs against this Jets defense, nor through the air.
After review, the runner was down by contact, in control of the football. It will be New York's ball, 2nd down on the 7-yard line.
So
New
Terry
York is not charged with a timeout.
I don't think McAuley knows that rule about the cheeks, though.
I'm not sure anybody knows that rule, Dan, until now. 14-3, Jets in front, and they maintain possession at the 4:10 mark of the second quarter.
Another good challenge by Rex Ryan last week against the Redskins on a apparent pass completion to Fred Davis. It was ruled that he was out of bounds, and Ryan just barely got the challenge flag out.
Also had it on the Dixon strip of Halou, where it wasn't called a fumble initially.
Yep.
2nd and 4 now for the Jets. Holmes goes in motion. Handoff. It's Green. Plows his way in for the touchdown. Sean Green catching fire here in December. And the Jets go in front 20-3 over Kansas City.
Well, at the very end, he runs right over Kendrick Lewis at the goal line, but Green, you can just see how healthy he is. Those ribs that bothered him a couple weeks back, not a problem now. He's running with the purpose. He has 10 carries for 59 yards in this first half.
And that drive, 9 plays, 69 yards. Extra point tacked on by Folk, and a 21-3 lead for the Jets.
Watch the blocking here on the left side as Green comes all the way over here, and he's going to meet Kendrick Lewis at the goal line. Missed tackle as Green gets to the line of scrimmage here. Tamba Hali is blocked out of the way, but you can see Brandon Carr fires his gun at the legs of Sean Green, and he comes up with air right there, and then a bruise for Kendrick Lewis.
Sean Green, 3 rushing touchdowns last week, with a rushing touchdown now in the first half today, capping off that long drive by the Jets. They come in ranked 24 in the NFL in rushing, just under 103 yards per game, but they're on the upswing in that category in recent weeks.
The offensive line is just doing a great job in both phases of their offense, protecting the quarterback, not giving up sacks the last couple of games, and then, as you said, improving the running attack that coincides with Sean Green getting healthy.
Now for Kansas City, a deep hole, 21-3. And just one first down in the first half. Dexter McCluster is the deep man off the kick by Fulp. McCluster ranges over from the 1. Trying to get wide here. Leaves his feet and gets leveled at the 10-yard line. Tracy Wilson on special teams. So Kansas City will have it at the 10-yard line. And McCluster going airborne. Wilson there to greet him. First and 10 for Kansas City. Palko, pump. Palko has time. And just rainbowed one over the head of the rookie Jonathan Baldwin, matched up with his friend Darrelle Revis. Revis has been a mentor to Baldwin, both out of Pitt. Saturday, CBS Sports has a college hoops doubleheader. First at noon Eastern, Butler takes on Purdue. Then Memphis meets Rick Pitino's Louisville Cardinals, or Gonzaga tangles with Arizona. That's all Saturday right here on CBS Sports.
Dwayne Bowe caught the first pass that Tyler Palko threw today for 5 yards. Since then, has not had one thrown in his direction.
Urban has a catch. Battle has a catch. Just 3 completions for Palko on 2nd and 10. McCluster, not much there. Buried by Harrison Scott. 2-yard gain for Dexter McCluster.
Been a very futile offense for the Chiefs here in the first half. Numbers are ugly for Kansas City.
They are 30th in the NFL in scoring, 13.6 points per game. Palko, passing situation. Palko is sacked. Marcus Dixon, first man there. Calvin Pace helps finish him off. And the Jets pinning their ears back now against Tyler Palko and the Kansas City offense.
This is Dixon's first sack of the year. Here he is right here. Watch him work against Richardson to the inside, to the legs of Palko. And as you said, Ian, Pace finishes him off.
They split the sack between Dixon and Pace. Jeremy Curley is deep. Colquitt, high sailing kick. Curley at the 39 makes his move upfield. Curley, a dart. Curley spun down inside the 35 by Terrence Copper. 57-yard punt, 26-yard return. And the Jets starting this drive in opponent territory for the 25th time this season. That's second in the NFL to San Francisco.
And it's a case where Colquitt really outkicked his coverage here. You always want the return man to make the first guy miss. That's what Curley does here. And then it's straight up the field, not wasting any time at all, and setting up the Jets again with a short field.
First and 10 from the 35-yard line. 2:32 to play, first half. Sean Green accelerates for 5. Tyson Jackson making the tackle for Kansas City. Jets are in no rush here, and they'll let the time trickle away to the 2-minute warning. Todd Haley's team came in at 5-7, still in the hunt in the AFC West, 2 games behind Oakland and Denver, but he knows that a loss will pretty much end all hopes for back-to-back playoff appearances. 21-3, it's the Jets leading it first half. 21-3, Jets in front. Coming up, Sprint halftime report. JB and the rest of the crew, latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint halftime report. 2nd and 5 for the Jets. Chance to put more points on the board before we hit the break. Sanchez moving pocket. Good throw on the run to Santonio Holmes. 8-yard gain and a first down for New York.
Yeah, it's apparent that Sanchez's shoulder's okay. Remember that hit he took where he came down on his right shoulder after Justin Houston sacked him. But that was a strong throw on the run. When you throw on the run, you are using a lot of arm.
He's got terrific numbers in this first half. 12 of 16, 162 yards and a touchdown. No interceptions last week and no mistakes in this first half from Sanchez. Running play. Green on a stop and go. Glenn Dorsey there to meet him. 2-yard gain for Sean Green.
Jets only have one timeout. They're forced to use one on the very first play of the game on offense. And then in this quarter, they used one earlier as well when there was a mix-up with Curley in the backfield.
Some of the numbers today. Green 66 yards on the ground. Jeremy Curley is in there. Shotgun formation. Sanchez finds Tomlinson. Running room. Tomlinson. Oh, gorgeous move up the field. Touchdown Jets. Mangold, Moore, and Hunter all got out to block for Tomlinson. 19 yards on the pass play.
Well, the Chiefs were concerned with Curley coming out of one side of the backfield. Really a well-designed play by getting the ball to LT on the screen to the other side of the field. And LT showing he still knows where that end zone is.
Tomlinson weaves his way in for the touchdown. 4 plays, 35 yards. The punt return by Curley helped set things up. It is all Jets. 28-3 with 1:15 to go in this first half.
Go back to the touchdown, and you can see how here's Curley. He comes out here. Javier Arenas is going to go with him. But when Tomlinson comes out on the screen pass, there's just nobody there. The block by Mangold on Derek Johnson. And then it's just LT for about 100 and a million times in the end zone in his 11-year career. 162 times, 145 on the ground, now 17 through the air. Hall of Famer right there, number 21.
Jets have scored touchdowns on 3 straight possessions. Most touchdowns scored, LaDainian Tomlinson, 162. Emmitt Smith now within range, and there is Jerry Rice. I'm not sure anybody's going to break that record. 208.
Pretty good company there. Those are the top 3 in the history of the NFL.
Tomlinson aggravated that left knee injury last week against the Washington Redskins, but there was little doubt that he wasn't going to be out there this week. Was able to practice late stages of the week and has been a factor here against Kansas City. Dexter McCluster, the return man. And McCluster with a spin move out across the 30-yard line, 29-yard return. First half possessions for the Jets. 7 possessions. Pretty efficient, Dan.
Yeah, it got a lot of help, though, from Kansas City. The turnover thrown by Palco to Leonard. Field position's been a big part of this ball game, and it's really favored the Jets, obviously.
And for Brian Schottenheimer, 253 yards of offense in the first half. And they built a 25-point lead. 1:08 to play, second quarter. McCluster. Marcus Dixon, Sione Boua, loss of 2. Last time the Jets scored 28 points in a first half, you have to go back to October of 2001 at Buffalo. Palko in trouble. Sacked again. Third time today. Boua will get that one.
And the Jets ought to be thinking about using their last time out with a third down coming up. You can see Palko with some indecision there, and then you just can't hold the ball that long against the pass rush like the Jets, especially when the Jets have so much momentum going today. Chiefs are going to have to run one more play. Or are they? Nope. They have. Clock will run out.
Kansas City will just let time expire, and the Jets with a 28-3 lead over the Chiefs at halftime. We'll come back. Sprint halftime report after this message. JB and the rest of the crew. Also a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Mark Sanchez has been on the money for the Jets in the first half, building up the big lead and doing it with a lot of confidence in the passing game. On the flip side, Kansas City has had a tough time neutralizing the Jets defense, and Tyler Palko has been ineffective. 28-3 as we get you ready for the start of the second half. Let's take a look at the Droid Razor play presented by Motorola.
Well, Mark Sanchez finding Santonio Holmes in the back of the end zone for that touchdown pass. Sanchez has been protected well, just 2 sacks in that first half, but most of the time he's had a lot of time to find his receivers.
Running game has gotten going as well. We saw it last week against the Washington Redskins. Shawn Green has been effective. Really the only negative for the Jets, the injury. Jim Leonard going down with a right knee injury.
Yeah, after the interception, Leonard had his knee twisted and he had to go to the locker room, and that is really the only negative, because this has been a powerful performance by the Jets, special teams, defense, and on offense, obviously. How about the 4 total yards for the Kansas City Chiefs? That is the lowest total yardage in the first half in the history of the Kansas City Chiefs. And the good news for Chiefs fans, they will get the ball to start the second half.
Lopsided on every level in that first half. Jets trying to move to 8-5 and stay right in the thick of things in the AFC playoff picture. Kickoff from Fulp to McCluster.
He fumbled. Jets got it.
The spillover, first half to the second half, it is Kansas City that does retain possession. Garrett McIntyre getting over there on special teams, but Kansas City will have the football.
Yeah, it looks like Jalil Brown will take it away from the Jets, but the ball stripped there by McIntyre. And looked like with a real clean shot there for one of the Jets. Isaiah Trufant couldn't come up with the recovery.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line for Kansas City. Palko in that first half, 3 of 8, 11 yards, and the interception by Jim Leonard. Palko caught by Bowe. In a matchup with Darrelle Revis. Dwayne Bowe, Pro Bowler last year, certainly a physical target.
This is exactly what the Chiefs need. This is what Dwayne Bowe's all about. Great coverage by Revis, but Bowe found the ball before Revis did and was able to slightly push off and go up and get it.
On a handoff for Thomas Jones. And Jones brought down, a little extracurricular with Bart Scott along with Steve Maneri. First half possessions for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Not good when you have all those words in the yellow font.
Are you using television terms?
Is that a term?
Dwayne Bowe with a flag thrown back at the 31-yard line. 10-yard pickup. Not a lot of penalties in the first half, just one called on Kansas City and the Jets.
False start, offense number 67. The tackle was going down at the snap. There was no play. Second down, 5-yard penalty.
So Barry Richardson will cost the Chiefs the 5-yard penalty and the gain on the play.
And the one thing we haven't seen from the Chiefs that Todd Haley told us that we would was we'd see Tyler Palko throwing on the run with bootlegs and sprint outs using some of his athletic ability, but he's been throwing from the pocket mostly. Here's a bootleg.
Dan Fouts, offensive coordinator. Out of bounds at the 35-yard line. No gain on the play. You're sitting down with Palko. We talked a lot about Jim Zorn, his quarterback's coach, and the fact that they have that lefty connection. Tyler said it's the first time in his life that he's had a coach that's been able to show him and illustrate what they want the right way based on being left-handed and not trying to mimic what a lefty would have to do.
Yeah, sometimes it looks a little awkward.
Yeah.
When you're throwing with your opposite hand. And speaking of awkward, here's a timeout called by Palko and the Chiefs.
It'll be 3rd and long coming up for Kansas City.
This telecast is copyrighted the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Yeah, it's really been a football odyssey for Tyler Palko to get to this point, to finally get a chance in the NFL to be a starting quarterback. And obviously this is not what he envisioned today against this Jets defense. 3rd and 12 for Kansas City. Out of the gun, Palko again underneath the coverage to talented rookie Jonathan Baldwin. And Baldwin picks up 10 yards on the play. Palko undrafted. He signed with New Orleans in 07, then signed a future contract with the Cardinals in 09. He was waived then in September. Signed to the UFL, California Redwoods, was cut. Signed with Montreal, practice squad in the CFL, then signed with the Steelers. Never played a game for them. Getting his opportunity with the Chiefs and now making his 4th consecutive start. Think about the coaches he's gone against, though, in those 4 starts. All 4 of the head coaches were defensive guys, at one point defensive coordinators. Looks like they're challenging the spot on the previous call.
Kansas City is challenged, but the runner got a first down prior to going out of bounds. Timeout.
The question, did he stretch it out across the necessary yardage on the extension by Baldwin? We're going to find out.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. TD Ameritrade. And by Jaguar. See the new model year lineup at jaguarusa.com.
It appeared that Jonathan Baldwin stepped out about the 44-yard line before he could stretch the ball out to the yet necessary yardage. I think the officials are right on this one.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner stepped out of bounds. The foremost point of the ball was at the 45-yard line. Kansas City is charged with their 2nd timeout.
Todd Haley obviously did not see Baldwin's right foot step out of bounds, although it was right in front of him. It's a good challenge, though, because even if Baldwin didn't pick up all the yardage for the first down, it may have changed Haley's decision to perhaps go for it if it was like 4th and just inches, because they need something positive to happen for this entire football team.
4th and 2, opening drive of this second half. Colquitt punting to Jeremy Curley. Gets the punt returner's job back after Leonard went down with a right knee injury in the second quarter. 34-yard punt. The Jets offense with a big lead back on the field. Jets 7-5, Chiefs at 5-7, and a 28-3 lead for the New York Jets. First possession for the Jets in this second half. Sean Green, big numbers, and both rushing and receiving. Green picks up 4. Tyson Jackson in on that stop. We showed you the Kansas City possessions. The Jets, a different story in that first half.
They got off to a great start, just as they did last week against the Redskins, going the length of the field and getting in the end zone, and then finishing off the first half with short fields twice out of the 3 possessions there.
On second down, Connor goes in motion, sets up behind Sanchez. On the ground for Tomlinson. Driven backwards, no gain on the play. Rashard Langford leading that charge for Kansas City. And it brings up 3rd and long now for New York.
And a little slow getting up is Matt Slauson, left guard for the Jets. That play, just nothing there on the left side for Tomlinson.
We told you about the 28 points in the first half. That's the first time the Jets put 28 on the board exactly since 2001 against Buffalo. They scored more than that in games against St. Louis, the Brett Favre year, where he had some huge performances before the Jets struggled late in the season. Almost intercepted. Burris matched up with Brandon Carr. Kansas City desperately needs a game-changing type of play. Let's go to JB and Dan in New York.
Rookie TJ Yates, Dan. That's right. The young man's bringing Houston back off a turnover. He finds Joel Dreesen for a 6-yard touchdown. 16-10 Cincinnati. All right, back to Ian and Dan.
Houston Texans trying to clinch the AFC South for the first time in franchise history. Dexter McCluster is deep. McCluster from the 22. McCluster runs into his own man. It's Carr. And a flag thrown on the play at the 37-yard line. Garrett McIntyre will get credit for the special teams tackle.
During the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 55. 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
Nothing has gone right for Kansas City so far today. 28-3, Jets in front.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. And by Cross Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Back here at MetLife Stadium, where the Jets lead the Kansas City Chiefs 28-3. 11:29 to go in the 3rd quarter. Palco off play action. Finds the open man, Dwayne Bowe, for a first down to the 37-yard line. That's 20 yards on the pass play.
Just barely got that ball over the arms of Brodney Poole. Fine throw by Palco to find Bowe down the middle. You see Poole flash in front. Big play for the Chiefs.
And Poole in there for the injured Jim Leonard. Poole, a former starter with the Cleveland Browns and a former starter with the Jets. Palco running with it and finds a lane to cut through.
Holding.
It's coming back.
Offense number 65. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Holding called against Ryan Lilja. JB, Dan Marino, NFL Today update.
Brady and Gronkowski again. Yes, off a delayed screen, he throws the ball to Gronkowski. 2nd touchdown of the day, 15th of the year, 37-yarder, 27-20 Pats. 5 receptions, 155 yards, 2 touches for Gronkowski. All right, I got to say it at least once, the bird and the beard.
That's right. Bird and the Beard. Sounds like a show from the 70s that followed Starsky and Hutch. Wacky cop show. 1st and 20. There's Palco on the sprint out, and now they're working Palco in on some maneuvers where he can get out into space and make a play with his legs. 12-yard gain for Tyler Palco.
Hey, he's fast. I mean, there's no question about his athletic ability. Getting him on the corner like that, he picked up that yardage with ease and got out of bounds safely.
The Brady to Gronkowski combination is looking more and more like Fouts to Winslow every week. Prolific.
52's Mike. We got 57.
What a breakthrough year it's been for Rob Gronkowski. 2nd and 8. Palco throwing. And Dwayne Bowe, the reception against Darrelle Revis. And they'll move the chains.
We've seen a lot of good tight end play in the NFL this year, haven't we? Think about some of the Jimmy Graham in New Orleans.
Basketball player.
Yeah. Antonio Gates still getting it done. Tony Gonzalez still getting it done. Dustin Keller having a big year.
Palco, deep ball. over the outstretched arms of Jonathan Baldwin. Antonio Cromartie drawing the assignment there. Well, this is going to be the talk of New York Jets fans throughout the week. The injury to Jim Leonard. It happened last year right around this time, except his happened in practice prior to the New England game. Then the Jets got drilled by the Patriots just before week 13. Leonard broke his leg and being called a right knee injury here today for Leonard. McCluster spin move. The Jets don't bite. And Darrelle Revis helping out in run support. A 2-yard gain for Dexter McCluster.
And team depth and injuries are really going to decide, especially in the AFC, which teams do make the playoffs, which teams can overcome a major injury like that, which team has the depth to overcome those types of injuries.
3rd and 8 now for Kansas City. Just shy of midfield. Palko. Look out. Palko brought down by Eric Smith. 5th Jet sack of the day.
Well, Mike Pettin dialing up an exotic blitz this time. Marquise Cole and Eric Smith. Here they come again. Palko looking to the other side of the field, does not see the 2 defensive backs coming. LaRon McClain picks up 1, but again, Eric Smith had a free rein at the quarterback.
Kansas City now 68 yards of offense. Fair catch, Curley, right at the 10-yard line. 54-yard punt. Jets feeling good about their performance here in week 14. Jets 28, Kansas City 3, 8:14 to go in the third quarter. Jets have it with a 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line. Sean Green, 71 yards rushing with a touchdown. Green, 58 yards receiving. And another catch for Green. Flag thrown at the 8.
Personal foul, chop block, offense number 38. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
John Connor, the fullback, called on the chop block.
He's trying to take the legs out of Tamba Hali. Watch the block right there, going low. And that's before he was engaged with the Brickenshaw Ferguson. That may be a wrong call there by the officials, because that was a legal block by Connor on Hali. 2
penalties against the Jets, 4 called against Kansas City. On the ground for Green, looping to the outside. Another penalty flag thrown at the 5.
Offense number 62. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
That's Vladimir Dukas.
Dukas was lined up as a tight end as the Jets bring in an extra offensive lineman. But this is not what Rex Ryan had in mind, starting this drive backed up in your own end of the field with 2 penalties in a row.
And you'll see this, a team up big, then sloppiness enters the equation.
It's human nature. I mean, you've got this game in total control, and you get a little bit lazy mentally more than anything.
1st and 17 at the 2 now for the Jets. Sean Green searching for that hole and falls forward for a gain of 5. Kelly Gregg there. Mark Sanchez, we've met with him each of the last 2 weeks. But what have been your impressions of Sanchez? On the field, it's been pretty obvious. They get the win. Today, he's been very sharp. How about getting a feel for him off the field now in his 3rd year as an NFL quarterback?
You never want to get booed at home. And I think when you do get booed at home, you realize the only way to stop the boos at home is to play better and be more focused in your preparation. And it certainly has shown in the last 2 weeks, especially today against a tough defense for the Chiefs coming in today.
Sanchez put it on a line to Plexico Burress.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 59, illegal contact to the helmet. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
And Belcher hurt his shoulder. He had a bad shoulder coming into the game. They're going to get him for roughing Mark Sanchez. 59 is Belcher, and he's going to drop his helmet into the helmet of Sanchez. It's a tough play for Belcher because he's trying to get by the block and get his hands up to maybe block the pass. But he's now on the sidelines after the penalty.
So a first down for the Jets. And they get out of that danger zone deep in their own territory. 1st and 10 at the 23 for New York. Sanchez looking to set up the screen. 2 flags come down as Sean Green was in the vicinity.
How many penalties have we had here in the last couple of minutes?
Penalties piling up. It was a clean first half.
Holding, defense number 53. That penalty declined. Holding, defense number 94. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Sean Green trying to sneak out into the backfield, and watch as Tyson Jackson sees it. He's just going to grab Sean Green. That penalty, and now we've got another penalty for too many men in the huddle against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, head coach of Kansas City. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The
it's not too many men in the
Haley.
field. Yeah, it's against the official or the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. Frustration. That's all that is.
Well, you come into the week knowing you still have a shot at 5-7, and then the team performs like it has today. And for Todd Haley and the rest of this group, you know that a loss here and any playoff chances are basically over. 7 penalties, 62 yards. Direct snap to Sean Green. And winning was no guarantee for Kansas City to stay in it. They needed help as well. 2 games behind Denver and Oakland. The positive for Kansas City is that they had Oakland and Denver as their final 2 games on the schedule, with Green Bay next week. But a loss here that brings you to 8 losses on the season, and too many things working against you in the AFC West. Green now with 80 yards on the ground. This drive has basically been all penalties for the Jets, advancing the football. Green wrestled down at the line of scrimmage. Give him a gain of 2 as he falls forward. Busy guys, JB and Dan back in the studio.
No quit in Washington. That's right, 10 plays, 72 yards, 3rd and goal. Rex Grossman rolls to his right, 6-yard touchdown. David Anderson ties the game at 27. It is good Grossman today in Landover. Back to Ian and Dan.
And guys, there are concerns about New England's defense, whether or not that unit can hold up through a postseason stretch. Patriots in a dogfight right now. Meanwhile, the Jets taking care of business against Kansas City, trying to make it closer. Plexico Burress, and a flag thrown. Brandon Flowers, the defensive player.
Pass interference, defense number 24. Automatic first down.
This is quite a drive for the Jets, but this is a good call by the official because Flowers right in the face of Plexico Burress, right there, the little contact before. That little right hand in there just before the ball got there. A 16-yard penalty. Have we had a play without a penalty on this drive yet?
We've had a couple, but it doesn't feel like it. First down at the 35 now. 8 penalties against Kansas City, costing them 78 yards. Sanchez mishandled the snap initially, able to recover. Throwing, deep ball, Keller, incomplete, and another flag is down. Kendrick Lewis reacting.
Pass interference, defense number 23. Automatic first down.
And I mark this one at about the 2 or 3 yard line on Kendrick Lewis. Sanchez doing a good job seeing the single coverage. Just put it up in the air for Keller. There's the bump right there as Keller's trying to get to the inside to get to the ball. And Lewis, not knowing where the ball is, kept him from getting there. And now there's a discussion as to whether this was pass interference or not.
Todd Haley extended all the way out to share his opinion with the officials. And this is going to stand as a pass interference against Kansas City. Kendrick Lewis.
Yeah, there's contact right there. I'm not sure what the discussion's all about. Lewis just never had any idea where the ball was.
This is on this drive alone. 81 yards of penalties called against Kansas City. That was a 30-yard penalty.
Well, remember, the Jets had a couple to start the drive that pushed them back even further.
Jets were back at their own 2-yard line. Sanchez trying to get it to Burris. Brandon Carr, strong defensive effort and no flag.
Boy, and Sanchez got leveled by Tamba Hali. Fans were expecting a flag on the play. I'm not so sure about that type of throw for Sanchez there. You've got Plexico Burris at 6'5" over the 6-foot Brandon Carr, and that ball thrown on a line really never gave Burris a chance to gather himself and go up and catch that high ball.
Shotgun for Sanchez. Hand off to Green. And not much there for Sean Green. Lunging Tamba Hali combining with Savi Piscatelli. Gain of a yard, yard and a half. New England at 9-3. The Jets at 7-5. Patriots have the tiebreak with New York. How about the turnaround by the Miami Dolphins? Considering the way they started the season, now 4-8. On third down, Sanchez dives in for the touchdown. A burst from Mark Sanchez. His second rushing touchdown of the day. He's got 2 through the air, and the Jets in complete control.
And this was a quarterback draw all the way. Watch the blocking up front here. Mangold and Brandon Moore. Sanchez 2 steps back, and then he finds a hole right there. Wallace Gilberry could not get off the block of Mangold, and as you said, 2 rushing touchdowns for Sanchez today.
Extra point, Nick Folk. And a 35-3 lead. One-sided performance here from New York.
11 times now in his short career, Sanchez has rushed for a touchdown. That one a little bit more difficult than his first one. He went in on a bootleg untouched. This one he gets good and low and goes right by Gilberry for the score. And the hugs from his teammates.
Well, Rex Ryan electing to have his offense announced before the game, just like he did 2 weeks ago. That's when Sanchez got booed. A different reaction here today from the fans. It wasn't overwhelming cheers, but certainly it wasn't the negative feel from the Buffalo game a couple of weeks ago. And Mark Sanchez has certainly stepped forward today. 13 of 19, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air and 2 on the ground. And having that conversation with Matt Cavanaugh. Sanchez said Cavanaugh's been a big part of the red zone success. That's his emphasis every week as he works with Brian Schottenheimer installing the game plan. And little tips that he gets from Cavanaugh over the course of the week. And he's been an excellent sounding board for Sanchez as he's learning how to deal with not only being a starting quarterback in the NFL, but being a starting quarterback in New York.
Well, the Jets have so many weapons on offense with their receivers, Burris and Holmes and Keller. That was a well-designed quarterback draw with them so spread out.
Collision, Dexter McCluster driven towards the sideline. by Nick Bellore. Brian Schottenheimer and the Jets offense. They'd love to bottle this. 35 points. Tonight, the Amazing Race season finale. Only 3 teams remain. Can this former NFL star Marcus Pollard and his wife win it all? Don't miss the season finale of Amazing Race tonight after 60 minutes. Only CBS.
That's right before The Bird and the Beard, isn't it? Reruns?
Yeah, that's later. It's in syndication. You can catch it on some other stations.
72, I think.
Palco giving it up. Jeremy Urban. And Kansas City just searching for something right now. Offensively, it has been an adventure.
Yeah, they really haven't been able to get anything going all day, but you got to give the Jets defense a lot of credit, especially going against an inexperienced quarterback in Palco. Mike Pettin and Rex Ryan drawing up a lot of blitzes today that have given the Chiefs problems.
On the roll by Palco, Steve Breston. And he's got a first down. 18 yards. Palco on the play fake and well designed.
At least in the second half, they've gotten Palco on the move out of the pocket where he can use his running ability and throwing ability on the run. This is Preston's first catch of the day.
Incomplete. Dexter McCluster, the intended receiver. Matt Castle goes down with a hand injury. Scott Pioli, the GM of the Kansas City Chiefs, puts in a claim for Kyle Orton. And then Orton goes down with a finger injury last week. Palco was still the starter even when Orton was acquired. They wanted to give Orton a little more time, and there was no guarantee that Orton was going to get the starting job, but you just assumed that with the money they were paying him, he'd get a chance. Steve Breston the catch and accelerates for a first down. 10-yard pickup.
Now we'll see how patient the Jets will be with the Chiefs moving the ball for the first time today, but Jets just playing a lot of soft zone, allowing these short completions. They're not really worried all that much about the Chief offense.
And Tyler's the son of a coach. His dad, Bob, longtime head coach at West Allegheny High School in Western Pennsylvania, 18 years. Incomplete. Baldwin streaking down the sideline. Well, we sat down with Tyler Palco yesterday. He's very serious about football. As a student of the game, he certainly works on his film study. I think he recognizes that he doesn't have the most ability, so he's got to try to come up with advantages wherever he can find it. 2nd and 10. Palco throws it away, and he's stayed in the NFL based on hard work, determination, resiliency, and living and breathing football. He basically has no other interest. It's football all the time.
He's a self-proclaimed perfectionist, and I think that comes from his relationship with his father, always wanting to please his father as a father first and then as his coach. And so that's the approach he's taken. And you got to give him credit for hanging in there throughout his travels and travails.
And his offensive coordinator at Pitt, Jets quarterbacks coach Matt Cavanaugh. Palco trying to set it up downfield. Jeremy Urban, the intended receiver, as David Harris took a shot at Palco out of the pocket. And LaRon McClain reacting, and a flag thrown. McClain just said the wrong thing.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 44. After the play, 15-yard penalty, 4th down.
Yeah, you can't come out on the field and yell at the official like that. Although he may have had a good cause because Palco was hit a bit late there by David Harris. But McClain losing his cool along the sidelines. Here's the hit by Harris. We've seen that called roughing the passer a number of times this year. Palco shaking up a little bit. And McClain stepping out onto the field to yell directly at Terry McAuley.
Another punt for Dustin Colquitt. 2.5 to go in the 3rd. Curley lets this one bounce. Scoops it up and steps out of bounds. For more than 30 years, it's been the must-see show the pros watch. JB, Phil, Chris, and Warren. Unscripted, unrehearsed, unpredictable inside the NFL. Wednesdays on Showtime.
Now, is that on just before the bird and the beard?
Yeah, they're really pushing for this show to get picked up.
I've got T-shirts to sell, pal.
Do I get a cut, or that's all you?
What do you think?
That's all you.
You get top billing, though.
180!
It just sounds better. 2:24 to go in the third. Sean Green, single setback. Green powers his way out across the 15-yard line. That's a 6-yard gain for Green. And the numbers last week were good. The numbers this week, excellent.
Yeah, he's got 16 carries now for 90 yards, been in the end zone once. He's also caught 3 passes for another 58 yards. So Sean Green really carrying the load now for Gang Green.
Less than 2 minutes to go now in the third quarter. Tomlinson is in. Santonio Holmes in motion. And Tomlinson is smacked. Derek Johnson bringing down LaDainian Tomlinson. Loss of 1 on the play. So 3rd and 5 now for the New York Jets. Conference record is 5-5. The tiebreakers are not favoring the Jets right now in this AFC wildcard battle. Career high combined yardage, Sean Green. But you think back, 2009 season, they won 5 of their last 6 to end it and qualified for the playoffs. Jeremy Curley ruled incomplete. The shot from Brandon Carr.
Yeah, Curley had the ball, but going to the ground, Carr came in and just ripped it out of his hands and caused the incompletion. That's a heck of a play by Carr. Watch him come in from the left side here and get that right hand in there and peel that ball away from him.
You think back to 2009, and you had some extenuating circumstances there. That's when the Colts were still in that undefeated mode, and then they made the decision to sit the starters. The Jets were able to take advantage of that. Almost blocked. TJ Conley able to get it off. Dexter McCluster lets it bounce, and it angles out of bounds. Also, Cincinnati late in the season did not need the win, and the Jets got the win, then ironically faced the Cincinnati Bengals and beat them in the playoffs the next week. And coming up next Sunday, the NFL on CBS. Doubleheader action. Playoff hopes on the line. The Bengals taking on the Rams. The Titans are in Indianapolis. Then Tim Tebow and the Broncos meet Tom Brady and the Patriots. It all starts with the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines at noon Eastern here on CBS.
Well, the Chiefs came so close to blocking this Conley punt. 2 guys right in on, looked like one of them Studebaker. And the other, Demario Williams, but how did they miss that?
Jackie Battle battles for yardage out along the sideline. Brandon Albert getting to the outside. Big left tackle. 8-yard gain for Battle. Final stages of the third quarter, and the Jets 35-3 manhandling the Chiefs here at home. Second and 2. Palco. Too high. Over the head of Jeremy Urban. Incomplete. Marcus Dixon getting a shot on the quarterback. 12 seconds left.
Palco is going to be in the ice tub tomorrow. He has been taking some shots here. That's the old high-low business right there.
Swing it out for Dwayne Bowe. Hit by Donald Strickland, and that's the end of the third quarter with the Jets leading at 35-3. We'll come back to the Meadowlands after this from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Start of the fourth quarter here at MetLife Stadium. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew, producer Bob Monsbach, director Suzanne Smith. Our ADs, Jonathan Siegel, Todd Carrick, broadcast associates, Steve Murphy and Jason Milnick. It's all Jets. Jonathan Baldwin, the intended receiver. Cromartie there defensively for New York. Jets will be in Philadelphia next week. Then home for the Giants. Home game officially for the Jets. And then at Miami to wrap up the season. Rex Ryan's team last year lost 3 of their last 5 and ended up finishing the season at 11-5. Palko out of the gun on 2nd and 10. Nice hand. Steve Breston takes a hit and keeps on coming. First down inside the 35. Rodney Poole, who's in for Jim Leonard, with the initial contact, 16 yards.
Yeah, this is a great effort by Breston. First the catch out in front of him and then making contact with Poole, who is more interested in shoulder bumping him than wrapping him up and tackling him.
Palko on first down. Out to the perimeter. Jeremy Urban can't haul it in. Working against Darrelle Revis. If you include Kansas City on this list, today's opponent for the Jets, the 4 remaining opponents on the Jets schedule have a combined record of 28-44.
I think that's why Rex Ryan says if they do get into the playoffs, they're going to be a dangerous team to face, because they win out, they will have great momentum, and you want to be hot at the end of the year going into the playoffs.
Palko, while going down, Bo is able to haul it in against Darrelle Revis. 8-yard gain through the air.
Yeah, we expected this type of battle between these two great players all afternoon. It just hasn't materialized, but this is what we've missed. This type of good coverage by Revis, and just an outstanding catch by Bo.
Jackie Battle seeing more time in this second half than Thomas Jones and Dexter McCluster. Muhammad Wilkerson with the tackle. It's a first down for Kansas City. Battle with David Harris there. 32-point differential. And if you put together all the numbers, the Kansas City Chiefs, despite being 5-7, so fairly close to the 500 mark, but they've had blowout losses. Kansas City has been outscored now by 137 points this season. Palko on 2nd and 10. To the end zone. Jeremy Urban, great grab in traffic. Touchdown Chiefs.
Not exactly a Hail Mary, but just about as close as you can get to one. Palko finding a whole bunch of green jerseys to throw this one in, and Jeremy Urban will make the catch, his first touchdown catch of the year, and it's a beauty. Here he is right here, right down the middle. Strickland is with him. Smith comes over. Poole is there, and look who's got the ball. Great concentration by Urban.
You had 4 green jerseys in the area.
That might qualify as an Our Father. He had the Hail Mary last week against the Bears. I think that's an Our Father. It's a little bit more of a line drive. You don't throw it quite as high.
Is that really a thing, or?
In my church it is. And when you throw as many interceptions as I did, I threw a lot of prayers.
Ryan Suckup on for the extra point. 10 plays, 65 yards. Jeremy Urban somehow bringing it in for Palko.
You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Passing touchdowns.
Jets 35, Kansas City 10. Chiefs with their first touchdown of the day. Palko connecting with Jeremy Urban. Jets have their hands team up there. Jeremy Curley is deep, but he has moved forward now to the 25-yard line, anticipating. Oh, boy.
I hate to laugh, but Succop almost whiffed on this. Tried to go with the left foot dribbler, and that's all he got was a left foot dribbler.
This is not going to go on the season-ending highlight reel for Kansas City.
Kicking team, ball be placed at the spot where it was touched. First down, New York.
A 3.5-yard onside kick. I have never seen that before.
Now, what else can happen?
That's heads up by McCluster, though, getting on that ball, picking it up. Jet could have picked it up and run it into the end zone.
Jets with tremendous field position.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sears. Honda. Come see the wide selection and incredible offers at your Honda dealer during Happy Honda Days. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Back in the tri-state area, Jets 35, Kansas City 10. One more look at the Ryan Succop attempt.
Yeah, that's one more look at it.
First down for the Jets. Connor is in front of Sean Green.
And the Chiefs are going to get a steady dose of Sean Green and LaDainian Tomlinson, as the Jets looking just to run this clock out, get out of here without any injuries. See Dukas come in the game. That just means another offensive lineman. He'll line up at tight end. So the Jets have more power for this running attack.
Now we've seen a lot of Vladimir Dukas today with that extra lineman trying to get him some experience as well. Second-round pick in 2010 out of UMass. 2nd and 7 for New York. Green again. Picks up 3 more yards. DeMario Williams with the tackle. Coming up, time permitting, after the game, the NFL Today update presented by Verizon. Then, game 2 of our doubleheader. The Raiders taking on the undefeated Packers, or the Chargers hosting the Bills. That's coming up next, right here on CBS.
Chargers in a similar position coming into today as the Chiefs were at 5-7. They cannot afford to lose any games in the AFC West and hope that Denver and Oakland fall back.
From the gun and through the hands of LaDainian Tomlinson. 4th down for the Jets. NFL Today update. JB and Dan.
Brees and Colston again. Oh, Drew Brees, big day, 35 for 44, 331 yards in this second touchdown to Marcus Colston, 28-yarder, 22-10 Saints. Already 40th straight game for Brees with a touchdown, 7 away from Johnny U. Ian and Dan.
You know, the amazing part, guys, is that Brees has a very good chance of setting the all-time passing mark and would not win the MVP this year. Aaron Rodgers seems to be a sure shot to win the MVP. 4th down, Jets will go for it. Sanchez fumbles the football. Knocked around, Kansas City's got it. They would have had it anyway. Tamba Hali with the strip sack of Mark Sanchez. Derek Johnson on the recovery. The New Jersey native Hali making a play in the 4th quarter. Jets turned it over. They would have turned it over either way on downs. Going for it on 4th down. They were in no man's land there. And Rex Ryan electing to go for it, trying to use more clock. Palko, the throw. Connection with Jackie Battle. Somehow Battle able to straddle that sideline, and Rodney Poole finally makes the stop for New York. That's 24 yards.
Yeah, this is a big guy too. Battle goes about 230 pounds. Coming from the right side of the screen. Good job by Palko. And he did stay in bounds.
Palko sets and throws. Jump ball. Jonathan Baldwin against Cromartie, and Baldwin's got some talent. The number 26 pick overall. Missed the early part of the season. after hurting his hand in a locker room fight with his teammate Thomas Jones.
And that was the hand he hurt, that right hand. He looks a lot like Dwayne Bowe on that catch.
Now you could tell he's got a chance to be something down the line. High throw. Dwayne Bowe did leave his feet trying to haul it in. He got a lot of criticism, and rightfully so, for early in the season when Palko overthrew him and Bowe didn't go up for it.
Watch the sack by Tamba Hali on Mark Sanchez, and then the forced fumble. And if you're Rex Ryan, don't you think about getting Sanchez out of there? He's been sacked 3 times today. Remember that hit in the first half when he went right down on his right shoulder? Might be a good idea to get Mark Brunell some snaps.
2nd and 10 from the 13. Palko. Steve Breston underneath the coverage, and no gain as he struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage. Donald Strickland over there for New York. That would be another lefty quarterback. We've talked about Palko and Jim Zorn.
Yeah, look what Tebow started here.
You think it's all Tebow, huh?
It's got to be. Everything else gets blamed on the poor kid. That's just another way of working him into the game. We hadn't talked about him all game.
That's one mention.
I think that's against the rules this year. What a great year Tim Tebow's had. You know, he may get some MVP votes.
3rd and 10. Palko. Incomplete. Urban and McCluster in that vicinity, and not sure exactly who Palko was trying to hit there. It's 4th down.
They're not sure who he was trying to hit either.
Well, there is Denver at 7-5, 3-2 in the division. The Oakland Raiders coming up here on CBS, taking on the Green Bay Packers. And no margin of error for Kansas City and San Diego. 2 games behind with only 4 games to play. So Kansas City will go for it here.
Play clock running down, though.
And Brunell is taking snaps out along the Jets sideline. Play clock is down to 2. Palko has to use a timeout. Jets 35, Chiefs 10, trying to inch a little closer.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sprint. All football, no limits, only from Sprint. And by Subway Restaurants. Give a $25 Subway card today.
'34th all-time meeting between the Jets and the Chiefs. All tied up at 16, 16, and 1. But the Jets up big on Kansas City. Chiefs are out of timeouts. 4th down. Palko. End zone. Wide open. He dropped it. Dwayne Bowe.
Bowe was so concerned with getting his feet down in the back of the end zone, he relaxed his body, and when they made contact with the ground, the ball came out. Good throw by Palko as he fires this ball to the back of the end zone, but Bowe had more room in the back of the end zone. He knows he's wide open, ball on target, but the ground causes the ball to come out.
And Dan, a change at quarterback. It will be Mark Brunell now running the offense for the Jets. 19th year in the National Football League. 3-time Pro Bowler. All of them in the 90s, 96, 97, 99. Hand off to Sean Green. Very close to 100 yards now. That's 3 yards for Green and gives him 99 on the day. 6th most passing yards among active quarterbacks. Over 32,000 for his career and 184 touchdowns.
And his voice is fresh. Really barking those signals with authority.
Mark Sanchez, 13 of 21, 181 yards. 2 touchdowns through the air and 2 on the ground.
He's the first Jet quarterback to ever do that in their history. Rush for 2 and throw for 2.
Sean Green now over 100 yards. Barrels out across the 20-yard line.
Green averaged 4 yards a carry last week against Washington. He's averaging 5 yards a carry today against KC.
Mark Brunell, 41 years old. And he's been very good for Sanchez as well. A veteran who has seen it all throughout his NFL career. 32. Tight formation. Flags come down.
That strong voice got the Chiefs to jump in the neutral zone.
Defense number 99. 5-yard penalty. First down.
We've actually seen a lot of that from the Jets this season. Mark Sanchez had done that just one time last year, all of last season. This year, 7 different times Sanchez has been able to pull the defense off sides based on encroachment and a hard count.
And the reason it's called encroachment is because he made contact. If you don't make contact, it's just plain old offsides.
So Mark Brunell able to pull it off for the Jets. New set of downs and a chance to use more clock here for New York. Green.
That's going to be a penalty. That was a face mask and it's not called.
Tyson Jackson. Did he get him on the shoulder or did he get him on the face mask? Sean Green certainly thinks he got him somewhere. Illegal. 5-yard gain.
Well, that's a horse collar if it's not a face mask, because he was right inside the shoulder pad. Maybe the officials are just worn out from throwing flags here in the second half.
This has been the epitome of flag football. 2nd and 5 for New York. Under 7 minutes to go now. Green with 110 yards on the ground. He can add to it here. Sean Green to the second level. Bang down at the 49. Wayne Hunter getting outside. John Connor with a good block. And it might be time to send Green to the sideline for the rest of the day.
That would be a smart idea, because he has played so well the last couple of weeks. You can see he gets up a little bit slow after this contact. Watch him cover up the ball with both arms here as he anticipates a hit from Lewis and Flowers.
Yeah, we talked to Sean Green about his head coach, Rex Ryan. He said, I had to get used to it because my head coach in college, Kirk Ferentz, was so laid back, not very outspoken. Rex is the opposite, but you want to back up what your coach is saying, and obviously Rex takes as many opportunities as possible to talk about his team on a positive level. The ground and pound, which has not been a part of the Jets' equation this season. Look what they've done the last couple of games, and then tack on this one here today.
Yeah, I mean, they're almost a full yard better in the last 2 games than their average coming in. So this is the blueprint that Ryan has in mind for his offense.
No Joe McKnight today. McKnight with the injured elbow. It happened last week against Washington. So Bilal Powell, the rookie out of Louisville, is in there replacing Green. Powell driven down at midfield. So it'll be 3rd and long. No gain on the play. Tamba Hali in on that stop. Clock is moving. Approaching 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, Mark Sanchez threw for 181 yards. He had 2 touchdowns on the ground. The bootleg, the 2 touchdown passes, one to Holmes, one to Tomlinson. And how about the quarterback draw, getting in there behind Nick Mangold, who had a great block on that play. Sanchez roughed up a little bit by the Chiefs, but he's got to be very satisfied with his effort, especially in that first half.
We saw a little bit of the Wildcat here today. They used it on 7 plays last week, 4 direct snaps to Green last week. They'll go conservative here, and Powell picks up 2 yards on the play. It's 4th down. Glenn Dorsey in there for Kansas City. TJ Conley will be booting it away. And the deep man is Dexter McCluster for the Chiefs. Two of the original AFL teams, but they were known then as the Dallas Texans and the New York Titans. Texans moved to Kansas City, relocated in '63. The Titans became the Jets the same year. Great save. How about that play downfield? Josh Munga.
Great job by Munga. Realizing his momentum's going to carry him into the end zone. Pitches it back to Isaiah Trufant. And the Chiefs got 99 yards to go. And not much time to go with.
They got 99 problems as well. 35-10 Jets. 3:43 to play. Fourth quarter. Mark Brunell in for Mark Sanchez. Lopsided nature of this game has allowed the Jets to make some changes on offense, but they're sticking with their first team defense here. Jets lost Jim Leonard in the first half to a right knee injury, the same leg that he broke last year in practice, which cost him the rest of the regular season in the playoffs. Palko on a handoff. Battle! It's a safety, Sione Boua. First man there as Battle got bunched up.
Great penetration by Boua. He had leverage on Battle, and Battle hit a wall and was not going to get out of the end zone.
One of the more underrated defenders in the league. Boua has really come into his own last couple of years.
Well, he gets a stalemate with the center, Casey Wigman. And then Battle, who's about 8 yards deep in the end zone, a little slow at the get off there. And along with Marcus Dixon there, Boua comes up with a safety. What more type of embarrassing types of plays can happen for the Chiefs today?
Well, they got no push at the line of scrimmage. Rex Ryan, former defensive coordinator, loves making that motion when your team gets to get a chance to win the battle in the trenches and force the safety like the Jets just did. 37-10, now a free kick with 3:37 to play in the fourth quarter. The Chiefs' win last week in Chicago ended a 4-game losing streak. But again, offense has just hindered this team. If they don't put any more points on the board, that will be 6 straight games of 10 points or fewer for Kansas City. Kyle Wilson back there off the kick from Colquitt. And Wilson takes it to the 39-yard line. Historic moment for the country and the president. Tonight, you won't want to miss the wide-ranging interview with President Obama. Only on 60 Minutes. That's tonight. Only CBS. Second game of the NFL on CBS doubleheader coming up. Oakland at Green Bay and Buffalo taking on San Diego. First and 10 at the 40-yard line. Jets lead 37-10. A new season high for the Jets in scoring after putting up 34 points last week. Here's the playoff picture. Baltimore is now back in front of Pittsburgh. 24-10 win over Indianapolis. Colts still looking for their first victory. Pittsburgh got the win on Thursday. And Cincinnati on the verge of knocking off Houston. That would be a huge win for the Bengals.
And does not help the Jets at all.
No. Give to Powell. A run inside across the 45. Give him a 4-yard gain on the play. Kansas City out of timeouts. And it looks like the play clock and game clock are hooked up so that the Jets can take this right to the 2-minute warning. It's very close. Mark Brunell has made his way off to the Jets sideline. All smiles for Shawn Green, and why not? 129 yards on the ground and a touchdown for Green. The Jets overpowering the Chiefs today. Jets are 2 minutes away from improving to 8-5 on the season. 37-10 lead over the Kansas City Chiefs. And New York facing a 3rd and 3. Turner goes in motion. Brunell on a give. And Bilal Powell is banged down at the 48. And he picks up a yard. It's been nothing but positives for the Jets except for one major storyline. Jim Leonhard going down with a right knee injury in the second quarter off the interception of Palko.
Yeah, he was making the interception just as Steve Breston was tackling him. Ball underthrown by Palko. Easy interception for Leonhard, but just a freak injury to his right knee.
And the Jets will punt it with 1:19 to go now, fourth quarter. Jets will improve to 6-1 at home. Ran out of time on the play clock, so back it up. 5 yards.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And when they play the Giants in a couple of weeks, the Jets will have a chance to match their best ever home record at 7-1, which they accomplished twice in franchise history, 1985, 1998. McCluster. Late game drama, Cincinnati and Houston. Texans have just scored a touchdown, and they are an extra point away from taking the lead on Cincinnati. And what a turn that would be for the New York Jets in the standings of the AFC wildcard chase.
Yeah, things just seem to be falling into place. With just 2 seconds left in that ball game. You expect the extra point to be good, and Houston would come back and beat the Bengals and help the Jets.
So Rex Ryan's team, start of the day, all tied up for that final wild card spot. 20-19. The extra point is good. Houston in front of Cincinnati.
Charge timeout, New York, 30 seconds.
And a timeout taken by the Jets with 1:06 remaining in this fourth quarter. Green Bay Packers trying to remain undefeated. And we will have the Packers and the Raiders here on CBS. Also, Buffalo taking on San Diego. The Chargers try to stay alive in the AFC West. That's coming up next. Talked a lot about the AFC. Here's the NFC. Wild card chase, Chicago and Atlanta, Detroit in the mix. That Giants-Dallas game is a big one as well. Jackie Battle gets the call out across the 20-yard line.
And interesting the way they laid out their schedule this year with the Giants and the Cowboys playing twice in the last quarter of the season. That's going to be interesting.
Well, amazingly enough, the Giants with a 4-game losing streak, though, they still can determine their own fate if they get the 2 wins over the Dallas Cowboys. 35 seconds left. Jackie Battle. Chance to pad his numbers. It's a first down out near the 30-yard line. The Jets improve to 8-5 on the season. The Kansas City Chiefs fall to 5-8. A dominating performance by the New York Jets. They handled the Chiefs at home 37-10, the final. More to come, the NFL on CBS.